Welcome to the Coaches Show. I'm here with head coach and athletic director of Dublin High School, Roger Holmes. Coach, coming off I'm going to call it a pretty solid victory. I'm not going to call it resounding,
A win's a win.
A win's a win. A very, very solid victory over Northeast Macon, 17-7. We knew coming in what it was going to be like. You scouted enough film to see their defense to know that they had a linebacking core that was going to come down and pretty much hit us in the mouth. And I'm going to tell you, that number 16 came to play. He did. I think both teams defensively had an awesome game. I could give the players of the game again probably to the offensive line and the defensive line. I think Batts came in with 140 yards. Great rushing night for him. O'Neal with a touchdown, Batts with a touchdown, Trav Bostic and Tobridge with some awesome hard running inside runs to help us along that night. Stat line, from what I can remember, good gracious, we had like 16 first down to their 9 maybe. 300 yards rushing on the night for your Dublin Irish. And one thing I was quite proud of, and your defense group and your linebackers and your coaches should be proud of, is what we held the Woodford boy to, coming in averaging 185 yards a game. I think he might have rushed for 85 yards on 14 carries, and if they'd only given him 13, he busted one for about 50, would have held him probably to 13 carries for 45 yards. Coach, awesome night by your Dublin Irish.
Well, hats off to our defensive coaching staff. Joe Stubbs, the defensive coordinator. Don Vandegrift coaches our defensive ends. Ben Turner coaches the D tackles. Brad Wallace coaches our linebackers, and Fred Williams, the second, coaches our DBs. Those guys, everything goes to them. Defensively, we shut them out. We turned it over, and they scooped and scored on our offense. I felt like the other night was a typical battle between two really good football teams. We, offensively, like you mentioned, we moved the football. We didn't finish some drives. We turned it over twice. The first turnover was just nothing more than a big hit. A linebacker put his helmet right on the ball. The second turnover was a misexecution on our part, which is the one they scooped and scored.
But we came back.
Yeah, our guys were ready to play. Northeast was ready to play. It was a good atmosphere. The crowd was rowdy this week. They got into the game, no doubt about that. And
the crowd, I'm telling you, we might not have had as many tickets sold that night as we could have for a big game. I've noticed Northeast brought some folks. But I will say this, when the Irish needed you, the crowd came up.
Oh, no doubt. It was an exciting game. It was a physical game. What they say, put the women and children to bed, because this is a game for grown men.
Well, you said it was going to be like that. You scouted them.
Our players, after the game, they were commenting on how physical they were. I said, Coach, we probably got hit tonight like we ain't been hit before. I said, guys, I haven't lied to you all year, and I don't intend to. About what's in front of us and what we got to do. So we're glad to get that one. It puts us in a situation. Obviously, beating Northeast is a team that can win a region championship. And the reality of it is, though, we still got 3 games left.
Right.
We've got to put this one behind us. We need to avoid that letdown, because Bleckley County, we'll talk about them in a few minutes. That's just one of those teams that it doesn't matter what the records are. You can throw them out the window when those two teams get together, and we'll see where it goes from there. But, all in all, the other night we felt like we came out of that game healthy, which was a concern knowing how physical it was going to be. And at the end of the day, you mentioned Willie Batts. I thought he had a good night. Our offensive line graded out very well as a whole. It was extremely well in that regard. I don't know that we've played against 2 linebackers that are better than those two were at Northeast.
We haven't.
And I'm talking about ever. You know, both of those kids could run. They were exceptionally physical. They tackled well. They had really good size up top. You know, at the end of the night, I think the difference in the football game probably came down to our ability to hold Nick Woodford in check. You know,
there were 7 or 8 hats on the ball when he ran the ball.
They missed a couple opportunities. They got behind us one time on a pass and they overthrew it. That could have been a big play for them. But, you know, our defense made 2 big stands in the red zone and got stops for us. So, you know, just a heck of a night of football in the Shamrock Bowl. And, heck, let's go take a look at some of these highlights.
Right. We'll take a break and we'll come back with some more Dublin football.
It's football season, and just like your favorite team, Dublin Chevy GMC Nissan's success is built on our teamwork.
Ms. Johnson, I've got you scheduled for service at Dublin Chevrolet.
Hey Dave, I think I found the problem.
I might not have been a great ball player back in the day, but one thing about it, Don sells cars pretty good here at Dublin Chevy GMC Nissan.
Optum Health System's commitment to you has not changed. Unmatched safety and compassionate care. If you've delayed your care, we want to reassure you we're prepared for you. Optum's commitment to safe, high-quality care is stronger than ever.
It is almost hunting season, and that means it's time for you to already be shopping with Roach Farm and Garden. Everything you need for your feed plots, everything you need for your deer stands, everything you need, period, for the fall, you can get at Roach Farm and Garden. Salt licks, camo, trail cams, everything you need. Go check them out at Roach Farm and Garden at the River Bridge. Support your friends at Roach Farm and Garden as they support the Dublin Fighting Irish and our local community. Go Irish and go to Roach Farm and Garden.
When you're part of a team, your loyalty is to each other, working together for the customer. Customer satisfaction is not a sometime thing, it's an all-time thing.
Turn it up, let's go, yes, sir.
You don't service vehicles right once in a while, you service them right all the time. So let's get out there and get these customers rolling. We love helping our customers as much as we love football, so let us be your team, Bubba's Tire Center.
Woo! And we're back. Coach, let's go ahead and run through some highlights of Friday night's victory over Northeast.
Well, we got to see what Brandon Walden picked out as good plays. You know, B-Wall is our video coordinator on the staff, man, and he does such a great job of making sure we have everything that we need in order to get us ready to go. And
we were doing these late last night, too.
Yeah, here's Quantavious Lovett. He's just getting better and better at defensive end. He zoned it off the backside edge, and you can see him get in a pursuit angle right there and get us started right off the bat. So we got him. Here's Woodruff up inside and gets more out of this one than we'd like, but that's the type of power running back that he is. We end up
6 hats on the ball there.
Yep, but that's Lovett again on another tackle.
Defensive game all night. I mean, I think it was a shutout the second half, wasn't it?
Yeah, neither team scored any points in the second half. Big hit. I think this may be Zay Bostic. Nope, that's Willie Batts or Zontae Walker. Zontae Walker in on this series at outside linebacker, making a good play. You got Jarvis Wiggins getting some penetration up inside, doing a really good job. Here's a nice run coming up here from Willie Batts. There's a little misdirection type play, and Willie hits a nice seam right there. And you know, defensively, just the speed that Northeast had gave us a hard time of really trying to break any big plays.
Good block by Trav Bostic
right off
down
the
there.
Top. We got a little play action pass ran right here, and They do a good job of covering. You can see no one's open, and Micah O'Neal does a Micah O'Neal thing, pulls down a big scramble and keeps the drive alive on that was a 4th and 8. So a huge play in the game right there, putting us in position to get points on the board here on this drive. Running the triple option, and Micah does a good job and drops his shoulder. Came up a little bit short. I think we got tackled right there on about the 6-inch line. And then we come back and we just run a quarterback sneak. Micah did a good job, but the big thing to watch right here is just the surge of that offensive line, the big push they give us right there on
We're
that
3
play.
yards in the end zone in by your offensive line.
So that was our first points, and we were able to knock down the PAT. Uric Andrews had a big night for us. His field goal right at the end of the half was just absolutely huge. It's a nice play right here defensively. Just the pursuit, the number of hats, getting off blocks and getting to the football right there.
Jarvis Wiggins there.
Yep, great team defense. I felt like Kamari McCray right there is getting back on the field, getting back into some playing shape. Did a great job for us there at defensive end. And overall, as the course of the night went on, we just got a better feel for what they were doing, ran to the ball really, really well. Here's Batts on another nice long run. Trav Bostic getting a pretty good block for us on the edge right there at running back. But Willie using his speed and getting the thing, did a good job protecting the football there where the guy went low. Here's a trap play up inside by Bostic. Nice run.
Really good inside run there.
Yeah, got to secure the football right there. We got to do a better job of hanging on to it. And now we've got speed sweep play down in the end zone, and Batts gets in the end zone. So that was the 2 touchdowns, if you will, that the Irish were able to put on the board for the night. This is first play of the second half, I think. Right guard went to sleep right here. But we got him in the game. We're able to get the ball snapped before this is the last drive right before the half.
Here's your big play.
This was a big play for us. Again, there's Batts getting out in the
Good
open.
move.
And that was a heck of a move right there. Put us down in field goal range right out of the bat. This is our first field goal attempt of the season. Uric Andrews looks like a 33-yard attempt. And he just knocks it right down the middle like he's been doing it his whole life. So big kick for us right there after they had gone and got their 7 points right before half, and we were able to answer, like we say, and come back and put it back.
Good snap.
At a 2-score game.
Good snap, good hold, and that looked like it might have been good for 40.
A heck of a run right here by Zay Bostic, running a little inside veer. There's Micah O'Neal. Now they took the dive and were able to get out on the edge and pitch the football. So, really good execution on that end. Run the veer again this time. There's a give again to Bostic. Kind of looks like Georgia Tech with Paul Johnson running the football.
Bostic had some really, really helpful inside runs the other night.
No, yeah, he's a heck of a football player, and we didn't give a lot of carries to Jordan Tobridge, but Jordan came in a couple of times and really dropped his shoulder, ran the football very, very well. Another good defensive play. They're trying to spread us out and throw the football, and we just do a really good job of everybody being where we needed to be, forced the quarterback to pull it down, and all the gold hats got to the football.
I think Batts got to him first there, it looked like.
There's another phenomenal play. I think that's Willie Batts right here. They're down in the red zone. Our defensive end does a good job of spilling the counter, making it bounce. We got Sears Tobridge at safety fitting outside. Just all in all, good team defense right here. Got a break right there. You know, they didn't execute. It's not bad coverage. A little bit turned the wrong way right there. The guy went away, but you can see he's right on the sideline. He wasn't able to bring it in. That was a big stop.
All right, hit him right in the chest, looked like.
I think this may be their fourth down play, which kind of just put the game away. We do a really good job. You can look at the coverage. As everybody they've got in the white jerseys, they've got somebody on them. We got the one guy dripped in there in the back, but I think our guy that came off of him saw the quarterback's arm already moving forward in a different direction. So,
Looked like Vandy.
heck of a night. Good win.
Looked like Vandy dialed up the pressure at the right times the other night.
Well, Coach Stubbs calls our defenses.
Right, yeah.
But it is a collaborative effort. There's no doubt about that. There's a lot of people sharing information on the headsets. People want, boy, I bet people would really like to be able to hear what goes on with those coaches wearing those headsets. But there's a lot of right. Correcting, a lot of talking when you come on and off the field from one to the other about things that we saw and what might be the next thing. And my offensive guys do a great job of feeding me information also. You know, the best place to see a football game is from up high.
Right.
And we have Keaton Wilson, one of our offensive line coaches, is in the press box. And Coach Riley, who one of our quarterback, fullback coach, he's in the press box. So they're able to communicate to the guys on the field and that type thing. So all in all, a great night, a good win.
Right.
It's time to put this one behind us because the other night doesn't help us unless we figure out a way to pull out one in Cochran. And like we mentioned before, it doesn't matter. You got to be able to win.
You got to be able to put the last one behind you, come back and get ready for the next week, and that's what we hope these Dublin Irish will do.
We'll talk more about Bleckley County when we come back after this break.
Right. We'll take a break and come back with some more Dublin football.
It's football season, and just like your favorite team, Dublin Chevy GMC Nissan's success is built on our teamwork.
Ms. Johnson, I have got you scheduled for service at Dublin Chevrolet.
Hey, Dave, I think I found the problem.
I might not have been a great ball player back in the day, but one thing about it, Don sells cars pretty good here at Dublin Chevy GMC Nissan.
Optum Health System's commitment to you has not changed. Unmatched safety and compassionate care. If you've delayed your care, we want to reassure you we're prepared for you. Optum's commitment to safe, high-quality care is stronger than ever.
It is almost hunting season, and that means it's time for you to already be shopping with Roach Farm and Garden. Everything you need for your feed plots, everything you need for your deer stands, everything you need, period, for the fall, you can get at Roach Farm and Garden. Salt licks, camo, trail cams, everything you need. Go check them out at Roach Farm and Garden at the River Bridge. Support your friends at Roach Farm and Garden as they support the Dublin Fighting Irish and our local community. Go Irish and go to Roach Farm and Garden.
When you're part of a team, your loyalty is to each other, working together for the customer. Customer satisfaction is not a sometime thing, it's an all-time thing.
Turn it up, let's go! Yes, sir!
You don't service vehicles right once in a while, you service them right all the time. So let's get out there and get these customers rolling. We love helping our customers as much as we love football, so let us be your team, Bubba's Tire Center.
Woo! Back, Coach, let's go ahead and wrap things up here on our coaches show this week. Great victory over Northeast again, but my goodness gracious, where we've got to travel to next Friday night. Von Lastard and his group over there in Cochran, Georgia.
And you watch the film on this group, and they are so well coached, which you expected them to be, because they do a great job of preparing their young men over there. You know, I guess when I start from the very beginning, I think most everything runs around that quarterback. What a great player. He lit us up out here last year. I think he was something like 14 for 15 passing.
Tremendous athlete.
The one pass that he didn't complete, we intercepted. He was on. He's a Richard Smith football player for the Dublin Irish fans. You know what that means. One of the greatest probably to ever wear a uniform in Bleckley County. Richard ranks obviously up there in Dublin. His elusiveness, his quickness, his burst is phenomenal in what he does in the pocket. He really creates you issues there. They've got speed in their running backs. They got some power in a running back when they want to put him in there. Young man's wearing number 5 this year. He wore number 1 last year. Has been playing a lot more wide receiver. Another young man's been playing running back. I think both of those two complement each other very, very well.
Pretty big line.
A couple of 260, 275 guys up front. And, their offense is balanced. Field, boundary, right, left, run, pass, everything is very balanced for them. So it's a game like, for example, last week you felt like you had to stop the run. This week it's a balanced offense. The week before against Ace Charter, we felt like we had to stop the pass. Well, when you're playing Bleckley, you got to be able to defend them both. When you go over to their defensive side of the football, you start looking at their techniques are phenomenal. Their guys are exactly where they're supposed to be. They run to the football. They play with a great effort. And at the end of the day, it will be a considerable challenge. When you look at their kicking game, they're so sound and solid in the kicking game. Why their record is what it is right now is just a matter of they hadn't been able to catch a break.
Right.
And
we can't go by that at all this year. At all.
You jump into it. The schedule kind of favored them in the sense we were both supposed to have an open date this past week. Some Jefferson County still wasn't ready to play, so it gave Bleckley an additional week to try to get ready for what we do. But who knows? There might be something in the book that we haven't shown to this point that we might be able to do a little bit with on Friday.
Should be a big crowd over there. It's 30 minutes away. I expect Irish Nation generally travels pretty well for your away games, has all year. I would expect a big crowd over there. Tailgate probably be ready, I'm sure, over there across the street. Generally over there a couple hours before the game. So I ask everybody to come. Please travel 30 miles over there and see your undefeated Dublin Irish tackle Bleckley County. Coach, before we go and close things out for the show, I would like to mention and congratulate you upon Irish Nation for your 200th victory at Dublin High School. I think that's an awesome feat here, and the folks here at Dublin High School in Dublin, Georgia, thank you so much for coming and staying with us and making that mark, hitting that 200th victory. The show will not go unnoticed without mentioning that.
Well, I appreciate it. It just means I've been able to be here a long time.
All right. Coach, another great show, and we'll wrap things up and come back with some highlights from Bleckley County next week.